Hi, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. My name is Yilan. I pivoted my career from interior design to UX design early 2021. I took a full-time UX bootcamp at General Assembly, and I've been doing a couple UX contract jobs since then. I know job hunting is frustrated, it's exhausted. I want to let you know that I feel you. That's why I like to share my experience with you. I hope this will inspire, motivate you even a little bit. Also, every process is a little bit different. I'm sharing what I personally went through for your references. I started actively applying UX related jobs in beginning of March. Then I received tons of rejected letters and messages. So if you're going through the same thing, you're not alone. It's totally normal. So don't feel discouraged. Don't take it too personal. And so to increase my visibilities to employers, to recruiters, I started posting on LinkedIn about my progress, about my UX journey, and also I started networking with other UX designers. Network sound like another part-time job or another contract job, right? That's what I felt initially. But believe me, talking to people who went through or are going through the same thing as you are is very empowering. Just the sense that you're not alone. And people are actually very generous. They are like very willing to share their experience. Ask them for tips and tricks on interview, ask them, or just like chat with them. I guarantee you'll feel a lot better, a lot less stressful, a lot less anxious after you talk with them. Okay, let's circle back to my UX contract job. I was finally getting noticed by recruiters. That was by the end of March or beginning of April. I would receive messages on LinkedIn or emails in my mailbox saying that they have a couple positions they like to discuss with me. I interviewed with a tech recruiting consulting company. So following up the process I went through, the phone screen with the recruiter, Zoom interview with the recruiter, the weight game, and Zoom interview with the designer in the design company, and Zoom interview with the team lead. And finally, I landed a job. Yeah, so there were total 4 interviews before I could start working on the contract job. Let's talk about the phone screen. The phone screen is about 15 minutes. Recruiter will first ask your availabilities for a phone call. So you can either reply them by email or reply them on LinkedIn. So during the call, the recruiter will share detailed information about the job, and you will share your skill set and your interests, your availability, and your hourly rate. For hourly rate, you can use site like Glassdoor or PayScale to see what's the average rate in your area. If the recruiter feel you're a good fit, at the end of the phone screen, they will set up a Zoom meeting with you. And you should ask them what you should prepare for the Zoom meeting, but usually you will need to prepare a case study deck because you will need to go through that during your Zoom interview. My Zoom interview with the recruiter was about 30 minutes. I went through one of my case study. Instead of just showing it on my website, I made a presentation deck. I do think it's important for you to make a presentation deck because you don't want to like scroll while you're presenting. And I do have 5 key takeaways that I like to share with you. So before you start your presentation, give your recruiter a heads up. Like let your recruiter know, okay, I'm gonna go through one of my case study and this presentation is gonna take around like 10 minutes. So they at least they are prepared for what to expect. And second, if you have time, this is like a bonus, but make a storyboard, like about yourself storyboard, like draw your UX journey out. Just make the interview process a little bit more fun. Since we're user experience designer, let's make the interview experience more fun for the recruiter. Third, while you're going through your presentation, you can explain your design process, but try to use some languages that's more result oriented, because your recruiters, they might not be designer, they might not understand a lot of terminology like affinity mapping or synthesizing information architecture. But try to say, for example, you can say, I increased user acquisition rate by 30%, I increased user conversion rate by 20%. So these messages are very clear and concise, shows exactly what you contribute and by how many percentage. Fourth, don't read your script. Try to internalize your presentation so your presentation look more natural and you look more confident. Fifth, engage your recruiter. While you're presenting, ask them, this is the method I use, this is the tool I use, and is this what your client is looking for? They may say yes, no, or they don't know. It's fine, because the purpose of this is not to get an answer, but to gather all of their attention. Because recruiters, they probably go through like tons of interview every day, so you want to make sure you have their full attention on what you're presenting. After your Zoom interview with the recruiter, then it's the wait game. If the recruiter feels you're a good fit with the job you're applying, then they will forward your information to the client. Once the client shows their interest, they will set up an interview for you. Even if they did not set up an interview for you for the specific job you applied, don't get discouraging. It's okay, because your recruiters already have your profile. They will reach out to you when other opportunities comes along. In my case, I got an interview with the client within about a week, and my client is a designer. It's somebody, if I got the job, I will work with on the same team together. I present the same deck, what I present to the recruiter, to the client, but instead of focusing on the result-oriented data, I also emphasize on my design thinking, my mindset behind problem solving, and also engaging them by asking questions like working method. I would ask them like, so usually during user interviews, I would record all their answers on a sheet of Google Docs, then I will render those answers onto a Figma file, then I will affinity map those information to synthesize them down. Is this something that your team usually use when you're approaching a problem? After my interview with the designer, around a week, I got another interview notice with the team lead. So actually for my first UX contract, I didn't need to go through this process, but I did for another contract job, which I actually got rejected later on. But I do have some key takeaways from that interview experience. I did go through the same deck, but I feel what I was lacking to show was the leadership quality that I took in the project and how I collaborate with other people. I think this is one of the very specific quality that the team lead is looking for. What you can do to like help other people, show what your leadership qualities are, show how you collaborate with a cross-functional team, and demonstrate how you direct a team from a certain direction to another to accelerate the project process. The initial phone screen till when I get the offer letter, the whole process took about, I would say, like 5 weeks. What I learned from those 5 weeks are, first, recruiters are your friends. They're on the same team as you, because if you land on a job, they also get a commission. So if you have any concerns or any like questions, you should always like reach out to your recruiters. Second, it's always send thank you notes to your recruiters. Write thank you notes to designers and the team lead, but you should pay attention that you shouldn't send those thank you notes to the designers or the team lead directly, because they're the clients of your recruiters. It's very inappropriate if you just skip your recruiters and send a thank you notes to their clients. Last but not least, be a fun person, because everybody wants to work with someone who can bring a positive energy to the team. So while this is a serious interview, don't forget to show your personalities. And storyboarding really helped with this. I hope you find this video helpful. Again, rejections are very normal, and it is okay to step back and take a break, because a break might lead to a breakthrough. Thank you for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.